am the president. I am America. I am democracy. I am freedom. I am choice. I am truth. I am integrity. I am honesty. I am the president. I am America. I am morality. I am equality. I am tolerance. I am the president. I am a soup kitchen. Like all politicians, left, centre, or right, I am a self-consumed douchebag. A shepherd of people. Yet all politicians pretend to be Christ, a prophet, disciple, our saviour, the all-seeing eye that only half knows it, a sheep in wolf's mittens, an art that's proposing, an opaque oracle spouting dogma, and the oppressive diabolical. With a celebrity smiles, leopard skin shoes, bouffants, badges, combed over quiffs, and a shake of the hand that's after your soul to tear at your innards to hasten the fall. Watching the kicking, loving the licking, it's laughter. They're all in it to win it. Pampering their egos, feathering their nests, feeding us poison so we fall at their feet. But we rise. Oh, we rise because the arts in our chest are made of substance and flesh, not profit and greed. Listen and look, it's the truth. Don't laugh at your weight because they don't give a fuck. They stitch and they sew the seams of your shroud. They do it in silence, no need to be seen, no need to be loud. Decency's gone, betrayal's a song for the phonies to sing. Seated in Mayfair, Manhattan, privately pickled on champagne or pink gin. Or scrounging your labours while stinking in bed, then crying with jobless, it's an hereditary thing. Whilst they watch Jeremy Vile, watch the Dixon Kling film, and get pissed on a tin. Can't you see it's a message, a future of dread? Our vests tailor-made from the coarsest of air, we aspire to wish to hope today, and we die. Politicians are fascists, well that might be a lie, but the piece of the cake is only a pie, fabricated and dished like a glance at the sky. And all gods are scars and humanity struggle to rise to the stars, and kids are high on their lows. Bent to the pavement, buckled, battered and bruised, separation anxiety, lost in their shoes. Rooms full of tears and beaming out screens, no celluloid memories protected and framed, full of naivety, gorging on pull, but lost in anger and sloth. Whilst mum and dad's paths, like all of the lonely, rattle and pound, a love forlorn, overgrown road, a placebo for pain looking. No hope of sobriety, just a whispered compliment, smile and a text, a quick in and out slip of a one-night stand to distance the grief. It lasts for a moment, but they want to believe. The excitement, the laughter, the blood in their veins, the ride that lengthens the stride to the next night event. The notorious gossip only serpents would vent. Until a sad morning after morning they went, a stick for society, a bullet in the head that no one can hide and no politician can mend. And we bore and buy and up to the banks and we walk off to war in step with the Yanks, and World War III's on the table for brunch in the South China Seas or the Sea of Japan. Or Kim Jong-un might be Trump's little man in his grand scheme of things to get a war. And the day may be dry, but my, how it's raining inside. Because we all just want to fly free, hither and thither and yon. But the combine has screwed us, we're all ether and air, internet's matrix for profits and spurs. The lizards, the buzzards, the bastards, the politicians that stand there and smile. Corporate mannequins empty insides attached to the counting of beads, back profits for greed. It's wrong. But puppeteers don't listen to lizards have ears, yet they sit there in church and they worship and pray. Not for tomorrow, children on earth, not for today. The clicking of tills, wind in the mills, the bus overflowing. Fields full of labour and laughter, all knowing it's worth it. It's wrong. Politicians are douchebags. Thank you. This is the last letter from Sylvia Plath to her abusive husband, Ted Hughes. Controversial. The cold gristle between your teeth. It's a taste of old flesh stuck in your craw. Stale. Stale as an old maid's womb. Bittersweet is the spit that drips from a traitor's tongue. Yet you are not yet it, yet you have done for me. And nothing will rise from this ash, this bed unmade, strewn with hollow words, stained by loveless lust, a shroud. So I will end this thing. Put my head whole and broken in the tin that bakes the bread. And they will make biscuits and share. Tell tales of their gossip, worship words they cannot find. And we will be gods in heaven. You will burn in my fame, a giant amongst men, and I will bear each and every cut for each and every one that knows this pain of the imageless mirror, the shadow that walks within. Numbness that occupies my grave and mortifies my soul. So be done. Turn up the electrics, dim all the bulbs, singe all my scars and kill all the gulls. You see, the trouble with life is living. The trouble with death is dying, and the trouble with love is forgiving, and the trouble with tears is crying. I was never on the inside looking out, always on the outside looking in. Never shedding skins to cast away, growing others day by day. A torment in a pale doll, a torrent dissectable in parts, and made man-made inflatable, able to deflower, disposable. Lipstick made me conscious, knickers made me itch and sweat, yet total nakedness was honesty, and yet No tea or sympathy when the glaze is scratched to flesh. 20, 30, 40 strokes of the whip, opening doors of lunacy they bet, then critique and praise without applause in 7 syllables. Contact you with distance, put you in a jar, look at you through windows not knowing who you are. Too soon the window was a wall. The wall had no windows, the window had always been a wall. And the vulture rest is roosting in my nest whilst I'm dreaming nightmares at their best. Side walking, strangers talking, shh, they're here. Tiptoeing to and fro, mixed up everything's midsummer madness, mixed with snow. And my room's piled high with bric-a-brac, bric-a-brac, bric-a-brac. Why be careful, this sweet virgin's dead already. And in a garden far away lays a bird with broken wings, too far to fly, too sad to sing. And this crow pulled up with a tearful eye, too many maggots to bake his pie. So enough. Milk and biscuits on the table. Enough. Poor Princess Floribunda, brighter than the sun she dances under, left the world in all asunder. Crying like a child, louder than thunder. Because you see, the trouble with knowing heaven is knowing that there's hell. And the trouble with knowing loneliness is having no one there to tell. Thank you. The Manchester sky was black, red and raw, thunder loud from shock and awe. Blemished by crusading blasts of man's unholy wars. When the horsemen arrived, the message sent from God's and nature's side in grief. Beneath a carpet of human waste, corpse on festered corpse, ash on burning ash. As the message was told, mankind is a fool, all is lost, mankind is dead. And the politicians, demigods and preachers laughed. Fed the children fat on lies, stitched up the sockets of their stolen eyes. Dressed them up in soldiers' war clothes and cast them out to war like sacrificial rats to die. It was a suicide bomber told he'd live longer in heaven. But he's as dead as a stone and black as a bone that's dipped in the sulphur and dragged through the smoke. The flesh in the flames, the cordite, the carnage, the wreck is to blame. For the brothers and sisters he stole and he maimed. For the lies of man, oil, greed and gold, stole by the rich men of God who sit on the thrones in the ivory towers of Jerusalem, Mecca, Manhattan and the ruins of Rome. He was a suicide bomber told he'd live longer in heaven, but he's as dead as a stone and black as a bone. That's dipped in the rot of the soot and the blood of the rain. The screams of mothers and those passing by, applause and laughter of his peers and masters, the mad and insane, whose brains have been swilled to fester and rot, so all that remains is the vengeance and hatred and the counting of loss of the blood, the flesh and the flames. He was a suicide bomber told he'd live longer in heaven, but he's as dead as a stone and black as a bone with the brothers and sisters he stole and he maimed. For the ideals of gods who sit in the dark beyond the moon and the stars, ashamed of their suffering blue. Lots of stories are told, twisted and turned, rejected and spurned, by the men who sit in the towers of Jerusalem, Mecca, Manhattan, and the ruins of Rome. He was a suicide bomber told he'd live longer in heaven, but he's as dead as a stone and black as a bone, because of religion and war, his eyes stolen by thieves, his tongue made of lies by jihadist fatwas, crusading generals, Wall Street brokers. Twin towers of Babel, Cain and Abel, the Bible, Quran, the old lies of man. He was a suicide bomber told he'd live longer in heaven, with virgins for brides. But the virgins were children, and the virgins are dead on the streets of the east and the streets of the west. And he's dust and ashes spread on the earth for the toil of the worm, and his soul is lost on the wind and the turn. And the Cold War bombs still descend with death from above on innocent children born out of love. Now they're as dead as a stone. His heavens in ruins as black as a bone. With the brothers and sisters he stole and he maimed, for the false men of God who sit on the thrones in the ivory towers made of our bones, in Jerusalem, Mecca, Manhattan and the ruins of Rome. So let's take back our eyes, cleanse our tongue of their lies, because they know nothing of me and nothing of you, the beauty of peace, the power of love. But my, how they know about hell. But still the music plays on. Thank you. This is So Lost Friend, this. We've all lost friends. Yorkshire just lost a good friend in Ellen Cadbury. Beautiful woman, beautiful writer. This is called Salsa Come Way. This is the last one. Then he's going to chuck me off his head.
You're a big guy, Ian.
Well, hell, I am the president. Salsa Come Way. I remember that night. It was Sunday. You didn't quite see me yourself, less a word, your feet, your eyes looking down, afraid of all contact, unhappy as shadow. I remember that night was sunny. You wore a frown. You're so surrounded by friends, a pint in your hand, you brightened up like a light, and you said, it ain't great to watch the world going by. But still your face was amiss with the words that you said. Perhaps that's bipolar, perhaps it's beliefs in your heart that get lost in your head, and words that you say are not what you said. Drowning as your world passes by. And I knew you were missing a kiss. Not the aggro, the torment, the madness, the kiss. Perhaps as we age it gets harder. So heavy, more lonely. The weight, the burden, the torment, the yearnings, the dark room where sleep has no entry. Yet the doors are open wide. Hope a full stop. No touch of flesh alone in your bed. And I never knew, and you never said, of the coals that burned in your head, but you did. You said your head was on fire like mine, like most of the rest, but yours was alight with the darkness. And no, you never said. You had it like a festering wound you wanted no one to see, marked unclean. Closeness and distance, both fears, a leper of sorts. No bell to ring. I remember that night was sunny when she walked in the room angry and covered in tells and asked you to speak. And the music stood still, and the fog and the cloud and the rain you could cut with a knife. And the world going by was eclipsed by this shadow of love, lust and lies. Lost, you couldn't give in, you wouldn't give up. You were like a child with a pup. Yet moving on, airplanes gone, we talked to salsa nights with the girls for a laugh. A duel with a gangster, Mad Frankie Fraser, the future, our children. And at 8 like clockwork you went. Got an edge to leave, a need to be free from here, this world. I watched from the window, I don't know why. It was sunny, it was Sunday. Monday you were dead. Hungry in your garage and found by a child. A child you asked not to look. A child you left a note saying, I love you to bits, but please don't look. I don't know the day or the time, I was looking nearby. Saw Steve in the street and we hugged 2 men, and we didn't give a fuck for a glance or a look. But don't worry, we held back the tears inside. Even now when we meet, they're in our eyes. But nothing is said, because mate, you made us feel guilty, implicit, torn and real bad. Like suicide when you murder yourself. The destruction you deal, no reruns, no rhyme, lost in your head, afraid of your bed. But don't worry, I have no proportional blame. I'm just angry and sad. That you miss the world going by, the growth of your children and friends by your side. And salsa come wait. Thank you.